Okay, well, I work here at Kapiti Youth Support, KYS. My title is coach or mentor, and so we work primarily with 10 to 25-year-olds. I deal primarily with males, either individually or sometimes as groups, and they are coming here for a wide range of issues, but often it's to do with, they may be in trouble with the police, or they may be having difficulties at home or at school, and we're wanting to work with them to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve in those areas. I think the real strength since I've been here, which is a number of years, I've been doing kind of youth work for 30 years now, one of the real strengths of this place is the integrated approach. So it's remarkable when I'm talking to a young fella, and for whatever reason he needs to see a doctor, I can say, well, let's walk across the hallway, and I can introduce you to a doctor now, or they need to see maybe a psychologist, or they might need to see a nurse, or whatever it may be. There's all these people, not only are they in the same building, I know them, it's kind of that integrated approach. So I'm not saying, well, you need to ring so-and-so and make an appointment and in 3 weeks from now it can happen. It's an amazing thing. As we know, young males often particularly statistically don't engage well with health services. And I think one of the reasons they engage so well around here is because of they're not kind of, I say, they're not cut and pasted all over the place. Can all be in one situation, which is, I think, remarkable.
So we've talked a little bit with Rachel about that, is that an intentional practice here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole service operates on that basis, so each one of us realises, though we have our own kind of unique role, specific role, we are part of this overall service, and when young people engage with us, they also engage with the service as much as they want to, because it's also very youth-focused and youth-centred. I mean, the young person we are with is front and centre of everything. I tell them all the time, it's up to you. You're in charge of this process. If you don't like it, that's fine, Or if you want to see somebody else around here, that's fine. We're not offended by that, because it's really about you being the centre of the decision-making and you being making the decisions that affect you. So and that works really well.
And it's quite common for a young person to say, and I think it's fantastic, they come in and they say, actually, I don't want to see that counsellor, I want someone else. I think that's really brilliant that they feel comfortable enough to actually say, I want something different. And it's okay, we can sort that out, no problems. And I think that's good.
That's right, 'cause sometimes they do, for whatever reason, the rapport isn't there. And so none of us are precious about that. We shouldn't be anyway, but none of us are. And the crucial thing is, because it's young person focused, if they have better rapport, feel more comfortable with someone else, fantastic. We encourage that. And I think the very fact they feel confident enough to say that is huge.
And often other people coming to work in this environment will say it's just fantastic because they feel like the rapport and trust is already established because they have come into KYS and they've seen other people. They just the young person seems to trust them because they're part of that organisation.
The continuity of care is one of the things young people need more than anything, I reckon. So between this age group, often what happens, they might get in some sort of crisis, get in trouble with the police or something goes wrong at home or whatever, and all these services kind of jump in, SIFs, and which is good. But it's all, they're in, but as soon as they can, they're out again, very time limited. And so what happens is these young people have these kind of almost interruptions in their life, which may be useful, but what they often lack is this continuity that goes right through this age group. And I think this continuity of care is absolutely vital for all of us, all young people. But if they're going through these crises, it's even more vital. And what they know with KYS is here when they want and when they don't want it. So if they say, see you later, I don't want to see you for a while, that's fine. When they change their mind, they can come back in and we're still here. So it's a continuity of care, but it's continuity of care that they consent to use when they want to use it. It's quite remarkable when you have guys who I haven't seen for a while and they just pop up again. Just want to check, and that's fantastic.
Because they feel safe to come back.
So they know we're still going to be here. They know the service is here. They know we're not going to say, well, where were you last time? You missed an appointment. And, we always say, great to see you. What's up?
And we're not taking the place of, families or parents, but, I have had an example of someone at Christmas time and, nowhere to go and no family and saying, oh, thank God I've got you guys. That's...
It wouldn't have been anyone for that person.
Yeah, and it's, it is sad, and it's, as I said, we're not taking the place of parents or families, but, yeah, some young people are struggling out there and are alone.
The thing with the continuity of care, theory. Sometimes, in my experience with males particularly, sometimes they want to re-engage just to talk. It doesn't have to be crisis related or issue related. Things might be going quite well, but they kind of want to check back and have a talk. And it's not like, well, it's not serious enough, you can't use our service. They'll never hear that, you know. Or they won't hear what's the problem. They want to sit down and talk. We'll sit down and talk, hear the good news, celebrate with them. It's great. Things are going well. And they're the gaps that are often missing with the kind of intervention crisis fixing model. And but that continuity of care is building, of course, all the good things that are going on when the crisis is over.
So they're learning resources to
Absolutely.
manage crises.
That's right, and that's and hopefully what we help them realise is what they have done to get through that. You know, the skills and strengths they have, the resources they have, which they then begin to own and they can continue to use for the rest of their lives.
So you'd be what you'd call an enduring presence?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
As much as they want us to be. That's right.
So it's interesting, isn't it, that the service can go from 10 to 25, and if you took mental health services, they move from a young person's service to an adult. So do you think that's helpful too, that they could come back in as an adult, maybe needing to re-engage with mental health, but do you see yourself sometimes being the pathway back in to those other services?
Sometimes, yes. But you know, you say we go from 10 to 25, but actually we've got these young mums that we're working with that have babies. So, you know, we're working with those young mums that often are very disengaged from their families and haven't had, you know, their parents are not available and come from quite horrific backgrounds. And, you know, so our young parent support is quite an amazing service. If a young person comes in and has a pregnancy test and it's positive and they want to continue with their pregnancy, we can connect them with our young parent support at conception, and she can support them from conception to school ready. And that's really important because a lot of young mums are not having any antenatal care at all. So it's not just as probably the 10 to 25, it's working with those young mums with babies as well.
And some families, of course, have a number of people in their family of different age groups. So some of the young people may be over 25 who have been here, and their younger siblings or cousins or whatever are coming here. So you actually continue with the family for a long time. That's that continuity of care, which gives you a chance to positively re-engage with the older ones often, who then reinforce again what they're getting here.
Yeah, they'll quite purposely, the older siblings will bring their younger siblings here, or their cousins, you know, they bring them to enrol. Sometimes they're seem to be quite proud to be, we're enrolling today, you know. And we have sad occasions when they leave us when they turn 25. And we work with them for that year, from 24, transitioning them across. Sometimes that requires quite a lot of work, establishing where they can go and in those relationships. So it's not just they turn 25 and we forget about them. We really purposefully ensure that transition is quite smooth.